We are walking in Mayapur on the way to the temple, and people are asking me about my project. I'm just trying to raise funds for it and trying to get people to help. They want to know more about it. And some of them, I wrote a long description, but these days people don't like to read so much, so we're making a video. And especially, I'm making this video and explaining it to people that know me, people who've been to my workshops, people who've read my articles, people who've read my Facebook posts, people who've listened to my audio, my classes and recordings of my workshops, and people who've been counseled by me, which are many of you, either personally or via email. So, as you know, I try to help you as much as I can, and so now I need your help. So we're kind of switching things around. The project I'm doing requires many people to work on it. It's a professional project to develop a company that will deliver workshops live and online, develop all kinds of media, books, and so forth to present Krishna consciousness in a much different way than we've traditionally presented, to present it in a way that more people can relate to, and in a way that will attract people that up to this point are normally not attracted to Krishna consciousness, or if they are, often don't feel comfortable pursuing it in this religious context. You know, we wearing dhotis and shaved heads. Of course, shaved heads are beautiful. I don't really have a choice. But you understand. So people are more used to doing it at centers which are neutral, or in hotels or retreat centers and so forth. So, I've been to many of these retreat centers. I've been to many of these, just checking my audio, yep, good. I've been to many of these retreat centers, workshops, where I've been to workshops with 1,000 people, 500 people, spending $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. So I understand how they work. I've studied the companies that do this. I've also studied some of the best spiritual teachers in the West. And I've studied how they're teaching, what their angles are, what their vision is. And we can do the same thing. We can be successful. And we can reach a broader range of people. You know, the people that want spirituality, but they really don't want religion. It's called the spiritual but not religious. And when I've gone to these other workshops and seminars, I've seen that a lot of the people who came were the same people who would be interested in what we have to offer. But it kind of frustrates me that they weren't coming to our centers, but were coming to these other workshops and seminars. And one of the main reasons that I've noticed is that these other workshops and seminars were offering people something that they could apply to the problems that are challenging them right now today, like beliefs they have that are disempowering them or making them unhappy, or hang-ups or emotional problems or things of the past. But a lot of these companies, you might say, well, that's not really what our service is. But the fact is, a lot of these companies use spiritual solutions. They taught that, well, actually, you're not the mind, you're not the emotion, you're the soul. And you can control your mind and emotions, or you can transcend them. They would teach these things. They would help people deal with anger issues or lack of focus, lack of self-control. And in Krishna Consciousness, Prabhupada once said, we should teach people how Krishna Consciousness resolves all problems. So that's what we need to be doing. You know, people have problems in relationships with husband and wife, with children. So many things. Problems with false ego, that creates so many other problems. So, okay, let's stop here behind the pile of dust, because there's a lot of construction in Mayapur, and this is just what it looks like now. So, I know what they're doing. I'm starting to do it myself. We're having success. So then you're wondering, well, if you're having success, then why do you need help? Because to do it professionally is not easy. Anything you want to do first class requires a lot of work, and I am only one person, and I have a few people helping me, like this lovely lady holding the camera. She's helping me. But in a few months, she'll go back to her country, leave Mayapur, and then she has to go earn a living. So, What we need to do is create a company that can earn income through workshops that can therefore pay all the devotees who are working for the company, either as teachers, audio and video editors, writers, course developers, marketing people, advertising people. We need all of this, and we're going to have to pay them. And if we don't pay them, then I get part-time help, which means someone helps once in a while when they have time. Most people don't have that much time, and they have a lot of commitments. So, unless I have a full-time staff of 3, 4, 5 people to get this project going, we're not going to be solvent, and I'm always going to be asking, can you help, can you give donations, to the point where you're going to say, what's wrong, why aren't you getting your company together? So what I need is create a staff, and then once I create the staff, then we will, in a year or 2 or 3, we will be solvent. We will be successful. That's just the way it works. Hare Krishna. So I'm one man. I can't, you know how long it takes to write a book, to develop a course, to do an online workshop? And that's already with 3, 4, 5 hours of work every day that I have just in my service with an ISKCON, and the counseling I give, which I don't charge for. So I actually give away thousands and thousands of dollars on retail value of counseling every month. So I need help, and either through service, if you can do any of these services, writing, editing, teaching, web development, app development, everything that we need. Again, the sound effects of Mayapur here, yes. We're, yeah, this is raw video. And it's too much for me to do myself. And the problem is, I have a very clear vision. I know what I want to do because I've studied these other companies. But I need to be alive long enough to make this happen. And at the rate I'm going with a few volunteers myself, it's not going to happen to the extent it needs to happen, and while I'm alive. And a lot of devotees are counting on me. They want to make this happen. They're waiting and say, please show me, teach me how to do these workshops. Please help me. Please develop it. I want to franchise this in my country. So we want to bring more people together, the people that I have helped, that appreciate what I'm doing, and that are able and willing and want to reciprocate. This is how I need you to reciprocate, either with service or funding or both. And some of you don't have much funding. You can give a little, you can give some service. Some of you have a lot of funding. It's not a big thing. But for me, it's a big thing. For you, it may not be, but for me, it's a big thing because it can make a real difference. So please consider it. And more details about the project, you can read below here. It tells everything we're doing, and it also tells you what we need the money for. We need about $125,000 a year to make this project work, for which we're not getting that much now through the work I do normally, and most of the work I do for devotees. I just offer it as a service. They give some donation, but generally it doesn't equate to the retail value of what a Mahatma is really worth, which of course is priceless. But you understand what I mean. And so I dedicate so much of my time to serving the devotees, and now I want to serve people also outside of ISKCON. But we need some kind of ministry funding, and I'm just looking for the people that I've helped and people that appreciate what I'm doing to ask you, please help. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.